Hello, welcome to a completion art review of the Trayvax Venture Billfold. This is Trayvax's first kind of bifold standard wallet design that they released. I acquired this one in somewhere around September of 2022 and have been carrying it on and off since. So I have quite a bit of experience with it. In this review, it is fully loaded. It has 12 cards inside of it, which is their maximum stated stretch capacity. And I have 7 bills. They claim it'll hold up to 20. I've never had that many, but I have no doubt it would carry them. So this mechanism is kind of an innovation in this particular billfold. It's this machined aluminum frame here, which is similar to other Trayvax wallets, but then it has this magnetic closure on this side. So you can see that there's a little tongue that grips the other closure mechanism over here. And then there are these magnets to kind of keep everything together. So once it's together, it holds together just fine. I don't find that it falls apart in my pocket or anything. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. The wallet itself is about 3 inches wide and 4 inches long, fully loaded with in this configuration with 12 cards. It's about 7/8 of an inch thick. So let's compare it to other similar wallets. So here we have a kind of fossil bifold wallet. I've also loaded this one up with 12 cards. You can see that if we compare the two, the fossil is quite a bit thicker. It may be a little bit smaller on a length and a width perspective, but at a macro level, this is going to be a much harder wallet to manage in your pocket because the thing can flop open. It can get stuff in there. It's just less manageable with this many cards inside of it. In addition, we have a Trayvax Element over here. This particular Trayvax Element, I've loaded 10 cards into for the purpose of this review. So here this one is. You can see the sizing with the little lanyard / bottle opener, because everybody needs a bottle opener on their wallet. We have, it's slightly longer than the Venture. It's a little narrower than the Venture if you look. And if you look at it with its 10 cards inside, it's actually slightly narrower on the less deep also from a thickness perspective. So, this is what the Element looks like whenever set up against it with 10 cards versus the 12 and the 7 bills I have in here. This is a Ridge wallet. They advertise absolutely everywhere. This is the original kind of Kickstarter Ridge wallet. So I have 8 cards loaded into this one right now. You can see that from a sizing perspective, it's quite a bit smaller around the edge. From a thickness perspective, it's also a little bit narrow, less deep. But at the same time, if I loaded it with 12 cards, it looks like it would get really close. And with the money clip, it does look like it may even be a little bit thicker already, and it would continue to get thicker. So then we have my kind of original slim wallet, which is what moved me off of these bifold billfolds many years ago, the slim clip. So you can see this one has 6 cards in it. It's quite a bit smaller. It's quite a bit narrower. Its length and width are quite a bit smaller. It's just all around a just very small wallet, very functional if you need to carry very few cards or a handful of cards and then some cash. So let's go ahead and move on. Next, we're going to talk about the yays, nays, no goods, and excellence of this wallet. And then we'll talk about whether or not I recommend this wallet. So on the yay side, this is actually thinner and slimmer and easier to navigate than a lot of the other billfolds I have, like this fossil one, where once you load them up with enough cards between all the leather and everything else, it's kind of a thick beast. Whereas this full grain leather on this Trayvax wallet just really keeps it kind of like narrow and sleek, and it slides in and out of your pocket very well. The wallet is made in the USA. They're made in Washington. That's a great thing. It doesn't always mean it'll be quality, but in this case it does. It definitely speaks to their, made in the USA from top materials message that Trayvax carries. This has tons of storage compared to the average wallets I carry. So in this inner pocket, I have 6 cards. And then I also have 7 bills in here right now. And I have 6 cards up here, including the quick access. So you can see that if I pull this stuff out of the quick access pocket, I can go ahead and have access to everything. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and remove some of these cards now, just to make it so that it's a little more realistic for what you might carry on a day-to-day basis. All right, so if you're a little less loaded up here, there you go. Now it's latched, and you see how quickly and easily it latched there. It just catches, and there it is. So the nays on this wallet for me is that it took a while for me to break in this wallet. Whenever I first got it, I found this thing was flopping open all the time in my pocket. And that's because I had it overloaded for the amount of cards it could handle. And so what happened is I would constantly find it kind of popped open just a little bit. That was kind of a bummer, but over time that remedied itself as the leather stretched out, and then it stopped being a problem. Now I never find the wallet open in my pocket. So, that's not a great thing because it didn't fit right out from the factory, but at the same time, it's not too bad, especially after the break-in period. Another kind of thing to me is the magnet placement. Like, this mechanism feels like a version 1. I'm sure they had many prototypes as they got to this model, but this particular mechanism isn't like super robust. It feels like you could lengthen the clasp mechanism where it catches here into this other piece of aluminum. You might be able to do something with the magnets to make this wallet more solid and kind of make sure it stays together. It's also worth noting, I have never had a problem with this wallet erasing mag stripes. I seem to remember that there was kind of a notice that like hotel room keys, other kind of like coded or magnetized on the fly keys that they might issue to you at hotels and the like could be erased. I haven't had a problem with that. It hasn't been an issue. But it's just something to bring up, is that some people are going to be uncomfortable with magnets near their cards. I haven't had an issue, and I've carried my credit cards in this quite a bit, and some hotel room keys without any problems. So when the wallet is full, there's really only 2 storage mechanisms in this wallet. There's this compartment here where these cards are, and then there's this quick access compartment on the front, which is nice and easy to get access to. So that's it's enough organization for me, but I'm not sure it's enough organization for everyone. In addition, this little leather flappy area where they've added the card storage, you can see that behind this is just the money. There's no backer or anything here. It hasn't created a problem, but the leather is kind of floppy, and it's like supple, and it's very malleable, and that's nice. It makes it feel premium. But I think in this case they could have went with a slightly stiffer leather and had this wallet potentially feel a little more structural, because even though it has an aluminum frame, there's an awful lot of this that doesn't feel like it has a lot of structure. In addition, the bill access. Bill access is not a problem on a day-to-day basis unless you're going to reload money while the wallet is full. You can see here that there's this aluminum plate back here that pushes up against the back of your cards to keep everything in place, which is kind of a similar design, or kind of feels inspired by some of the other Trayvax wallet designs. You can see that in here, this little catch here, I've had it catch on my bills a number of times, and whenever I'm loading or unloading the wallet. So you just kind of have to navigate around it. It's not great, but it's not horrible either. I think it's something they could refine. They could probably put a backer on this plate somehow, or change the mechanism just a little bit. The other kind of like general nay thing I'll mention here is that this, like other Trayvax wallets, they're using this aluminum right here, and you see how it sticks up. So what that really means is that whenever you place your cards in here, you don't want cards that could get torn up by this little flap being loaded into this compartment right against it. Trayvax is very good about including a little plastic plate, so you can see one right here from another Trayvax wallet. This may have been the one that came with this one, but I can't recall at this point. But they include these little plastic liners so you can stick them beside your cards and everything, behind your cards, and everything fits. And you don't have any risk of your cards being torn up by their mechanism. This exists in a number of other Trayvax wallets, in addition to giving you a little card that you could give away to someone else if you wanted to. So let's talk about the no goods of this wallet. So the no goods for me are not horrible, but they're no good. The quick access pocket really does rely on you to open the wallet, especially when it's full. That's okay, but it would be nice to have a quick access section that I didn't have to pop the wallet open for. At the same time, I'm pretty used to it now, so it's not really a problem. Another no good is I like the magnets in concept. It's a neat idea, but it doesn't hold really solid. It's pretty easy to get them to pop. That may be an advantage to some people, but once the wallet is closed, I want it staying closed until there is an intentional action to open up the wallet. So that's just something that I would like to see as a refinement to this product in the future, is this closing mechanism in a version 2. The next thing is that the inside organization is less structured than it should be. I mentioned that there's no backer here. It feels like there's got to be something you can do rather than just cut a piece of leather. Maybe they could add, I don't know that they should add another full grain leather liner behind the cards, because then it starts to really bulk up the wallet. That's the thickness of a card or two right there, because they're using good leather. But there's got to be something they can do in order to refine this a little bit. At the same time, never read that as I'm suggesting them to add fabric to the inside of their wallets other than leather. I'm not asking for that. I know they have fabric on a lot of models, but for these leather ones, I'd prefer they stick to the kind of leather and high quality stitching and everything else that kind of identifies these premium Trayvax offerings. The frame is rigid, but as I mentioned, it's not structural. The leather doesn't allow it to be structural because the leather is very supple and floppy. That's something that could be refined, I think. I think they could use a slightly stiffer leather, even if it took more time to break in, or reduce the card capacity somewhat, or they just changed the design to have it poke out so that it could allow more cards. That would be a nice change. So the excellent things about this wallet: once broken in, works great every day. The growing pains were real. I found my wallet open in my pocket a number of times. It took me a while to get it stretched out, but once it was stretched out, it's been really good. The mechanism works very reliably for me now. Even though I may have critiqued it for it popping open easily, I do not find that's a problem on a day-to-day basis. That's great. It's thinner than my other full-size wallets. Just look at it compared to this Fossil wallet here. If you're the type of person who carries an awful lot of cards with you, which luckily I don't all the time anymore, but sometimes old habits are hard to break. It's nice and it slides into your pocket really, really well. It just feels nice. It never beats anything up in your pocket that I've experienced. The aluminum is either tumbled or rounded off enough that there's no real problem with the aluminum itself, and it kind of tearing up other things in your pocket. It has a quality build. This is Trayvax. They do quality builds. That's what they do. So would I recommend this wallet? Yes. If you want a unique wallet and are willing to deal with the break-in of a unique wallet, this is a great wallet that whenever you pull it out, people are going to look at it and go, that is a different wallet. It's not just the average billfold. I always carry my wallets in my front pocket of my pants. So I don't know how it carries in rear pocket, but I would guess that for a lot of the people who I know who pull something like this out of their rear pocket, this is not going to be a downgrade from there. This will be equivalent or maybe even a little nicer because it's a little more rounded. Um, if you carry a lot of cards and you're looking for this unique wallet, great choice. I really like the wallet. I think there are a lot of improvements that could be had in a version 2, but yet the fact is that's a version 2, and who knows when they'll release it and what name they'll release it under. If I'm looking for a day-to-day full-size wallet, with my slimline wallets, there's a number of them I might pick from. For a full-size wallet, I wouldn't carry any wallet except for this one right now. In the past, I had other full-size wallets I would carry, but not anymore. This is really my go-to. This little spot on the back, I have my wallets engraved with my initials. I've covered it up for the purpose of this review. At the same time, so I've put a little piece of tape over it. That's not an imperfection. It's just covering up the engraving. The engraving is perfectly reasonable quality. It hasn't worn off. It is held up very well in all of my Trayvax wallets that have engraving. What would I like to see in a next version of this wallet? I think the structural leather is something. I think they could do something there even if they move to a thicker wallet. I think a V2 of the closing mechanism is needed. Maybe increase this catch point so that you're relying more on an actual catch and less on magnets. Strengthening the magnets, maybe that might be an option as long as you don't really put at risk erasing cards in the wallet. A backing on the card holder in here, that would be nice. At least one additional storage compartment. I think for a lot of people, having just 2 places to put cards might seem a little cumbersome depending on how many cards they need day to day. It would be nice if they went ahead and did the cutout here and allowed you to put some more cards in the other side. But as a whole, this wallet has been really good. I like it. I carry it. I have been carrying it now for a number of weeks continuously just because I switched to it for the last trip I took and I haven't switched back out of it since. So I really like this. It's a great wallet. It could be refined, but at the same time, if you're in the market for it and you like the look of it, I'd say go ahead and pick one up, try it out, break it in for your own number of cards that you carry, and have something unique. So there you go. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment, like this video, and I really appreciate it. Have a good day.